I love this creased gold effect. I told you this one was my favorite of the two, and I wasn't lying. Whew, what could that be, my friends? What on earth could that be? You ain't even ready. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Low Luxury, the channel where I show you what authentic luxury clothing and streetwear looks like. Today, we've got a doozy for you. I am so excited because we're going to be taking a look at some pieces. Yes, pieces. Yes, plural. Pluralizing it out here from one of my favorite brands right now. So I know a little while back, I don't know if you saw, I did a video of a Saint Laurent haul. I'll put that up here in my YouTube corner, swirling around wherever that is. My spatial awareness is leaving my body right now, like a wayward spirit, if you will. But that video's up there somewhere. I took a look at a couple pieces from Saint Laurent, and I'm going to be doing the same today from actually a related brand, I would say. There's some real nice connections going on, some nice synergies happening with the Saint Laurent, and that's because I have this bad boy right here. And I don't just have this bad boy. We're filled with bad boys. We're like a Stacey over here. We're filled with bad boy Chad boxes, okay? One, we got two pieces from CELINE, but we're also gonna go a couple steps deeper. I'm gonna give you some background on the brand CELINE, what they're all about now, what they were about in the past, and I'm not just gonna try them on. I will try them on, I'll give you a fit review, talk about the sizing, the feel, and that stuff, but we're also gonna put together an actual styled look, and I'm gonna show you how to put out a sick CELINE fit. So without further ado, that's enough intro. I'm done with the intro. I'm over the intro. Stop asking me about the intro because I don't want to hear it anymore, okay? We're done with it. We're moving on. Let's learn a bit about CELINE. But first, I've looked into it, and a very small percentage of you are actually subscribed to the channel. It's completely free. Just press that button and you will not regret it. Thank you so much. All right, my friends, so we're gonna go back in time a little bit, and the screen waves, and we're flying back in time, maybe in a DeLorean, maybe in something else, maybe not something so obvious and kind of kitschy pop culture is that, but we're going back in time a few years, because for many years, CELINE was run by a woman designer. She's not just a woman, she's a great designer, named Phoebe Philo, and she was very respected. Kanye sang about her on one of these songs on Yeezus, if I'm not mistaken. But she was very beloved at CELINE. So, for instance, spring 2018. So let's get a little vibe for what Phoebe Philo's CELINE looked like. Usually the word that is most associated with her era at CELINE is minimalist. And you can see that here, but it's more in the colors. It's a lot of neutrals. There aren't too many kind of seam lines, things like that. So in that sense, it's minimal. But there's also like some real luxury in there and some real kind of like interesting designer touches. Like, look at the way this jacket curves up. There's a very considered fit with a flare on these pants. So people were obsessed with CELINE. And I don't know, it's a very particular era in fashion when it's like outwardly both very expensive looking, but also understated at the same time. Obviously, neutrals were massive. Look at this like monochrome, tonal, layered look going on here. Look at that, a little neutral color blocked double coat. There's some cool stuff going on here. Like, people were super into Phoebe Philo. She didn't do menswear at CELINE, which is a sticking point for me. I generally, but though not always, generally wear menswear, so that's usually what I like to see. But I do appreciate this stuff. Look at this half and half dress blazer. Kind of almost double-breasted, would you call it, the way it goes in like that? I don't know. I can appreciate this. I wouldn't wear it for the most part, I would say, but I get it. And that's why it was a bit crazy when she went away and in came Hedi Slimane. Now, who is Hedi Slimane? Well, Hedi was at a little fashion house called Saint Laurent. See, now you're starting to see the connections that I'm making here. My content, it's like I'm playing 4D chess and it's layered. It's layered, my friends. It's really not. I'm just kind of doing what I want to do. Anyway, Hedi Slimane, he was at Saint Laurent, and he was doing clothes that were very, very different from what Phoebe Philo was doing at CELINE. So doesn't seem to want to load, but I believe... Let's go to 2016, because I know he was still at the house at that point, if my Wi-Fi decides to work. This is maybe where you get like a hardwired Ethernet connection. I don't know. So Hedi Slimane's aesthetic, it's quite maximal, very rock and roll. You can see that in here, like a lot of darkness, dark tones, but also animal prints, some pops of color. Like, this stuff is kind of the opposite of Phoebe Philo CELINE. Also, Phoebe Philo was doing a lot of outerwear, a lot of layers, a lot of kind of like clean lines, whereas Hedi does a lot of separates. He throws pieces on top of each other and then just creates, in my opinion, quite cool looks out of them. But it's just a totally different point of view. You've got silvers, you've got golds. So it was kind of an unexpected move, but a clear sign that CELINE was looking for something different than what Phoebe Philo was bringing, and they thought Hedi Slimane was the man to do it. So here is spring 2019 from when Hedi Slimane came into CELINE, and he came in like he had something to prove. He really brought along that rock and roll aesthetic that he had at Saint Laurent, but he started shifting. The fits started to get a little bit different. He was very much like a skinny black suit kind of guy at Saint Laurent, and he started playing with more volume, stuff like that, and more streetwear, I would say, but still within the luxury space. And there is just something about Hedi Slimane CELINE that is very appealing to me on like a base level. Like, some people like to criticize him and say he's not doing things any really different, like, hey, I could get this at H&M or whatever. But it's like with this little fashion edge, and it's always just a little bit ahead of the times. Not crazy ahead of the times, like futurist, crazy Kiko Kostadinov stuff, but like, he's just always a little bit ahead of the zeitgeist. Leather or perhaps pleather, like satin flight suits. Hedi, he's bringing some of that boxiness in and that tailoring, very modern. Like, that is very Saint Laurent. I would say this kind of military jacket, but look at all these with a leather pant. Hedi Slimane, you know how to speak to a man. He is a big fan of leather. This is like, he's got like a color blocked leather jacket here. Listen, Phoebe Philo was not doing motorcycle jackets that look like this. I'm sorry. He just wasn't. She just wasn't. Where's my head? And as time went on, he only committed more and more to the kind of like oversized streetwear aesthetic, as you can see from some of these pieces here, like the layering, the fits, almost getting into like a 70s, I don't know, like a roller rink god kind of look. I don't know, he's on one, but I am fully on board with Hedi Slimane CELINE. It is very much up my alley, so I picked up a couple pieces to see what we could do with it, and I am so excited. So I think that's all the background you need here. Let's dive into the pieces in hand. So as discussed, we've got not one, but two boxes. They look essentially identical, but on this channel, we like to save the best for last. So I think we're going to start by taking a look at what's in the bottom box here. And that's not to say it's not great. I'm a big fan of both these boxes and what is held within, but this one is something special. So we're going down here. Let's do it. So this box, it is like a textured white cardboard. Let's see if we can get in there, get a good look at the texture. Come on. There you go. So you can kind of feel that a little bit. It's a tight, like woven, matte white texture there. You've got a little framing around the edges, which is like double layered, really like a frame. It's a nice touch. And in the middle, you have a debossed logo. So this pops out of the box. You can feel each letter, and it pops out quite a bit in a matte black. And this CELINE logo, while simple, is going to be consistent everywhere we see it. That spacing, the font, and everything. Underneath, a bit smaller, with a good amount of space, you have Paris. At the bottom, we have a sticker, and that may start to tell us a little something about what's held within this box. So at the top, you've got made in Italy. Then under this barcode, you get a model number, and you should be able to look that up, and the piece, whatever is held within, should be the thing that shows up. At the bottom, high top, Triumph gold sneaker, EU43, so the size of the end there. So if you haven't figured it out by now, we got some sneakers in here, and I'm a fan. I'm a big, big fan. All right, I think it's time. Let's get this open, because we'll take a look at you guys in a second, because that's our dust bag. Okay, we love a good dust bag. Ooh, and they're in the dust bag, so you got two of them. Nice glossy dust bags. Oh my gosh, look at those. Yes, my friends, that is a gold sneaker. CELINE, it's a pretty maximalist brand. They go for it, and they have certainly gone for it here. So real quick, this comes with a couple little envelopes here. This one has some info about the leather. For this style, CELINE chose to use high-quality gold laminated leather. A creased effect is applied to give these shoes a special overall look. It is special, I'll give you that. And inside this guy, we've got some extra laces in more of like a cream color. The ones that come with the shoes are more white, so I appreciate that, the option. So this shoe, as we saw on that sticker, is called the Triumph. You can see kind of embossed on there. Pressed right in there, TR01M. I love this creased gold effect. So it's quite a minimal style, you know, somewhat like a high top, a Jordan or something, but also in the style, almost I would say, of kind of like classic luxury sneakers. Before they really figured out what they were doing and got on board with the kind of like streetwear sneaker trend, this is like an old school luxury leather sneaker. This little panel of white here is a bit of a common motif in the CELINE shoes. And I don't know, it's not really a logo or something, it's just a panel, but it's very distinctive at the same time. The lace closure here, you can see we've got just these white rivets along the sides for the laces. And moving up, we get to the tongue, which in black says CELINE Paris, and above it, Triumph. And the inside of the shoe is very similar, just without that debossing print, kind of like this stamp on this panel here. It's left more blank. The back just has a simple counter with a debossed CELINE logo inside of it. You can see that's real kind of like natural style of leather, just stitched down along the edges. The insole in there has a gold CELINE Paris logo printed on it. And then inside the shoe, you've got some sort of model number stamp here. And that's about it. It's a very, very simple, clean inside of the shoe. The inside of the tongue is left completely blank and white. And just a quick note, it is on the other shoe that they have the additional information printed in there. So on this shoe, off to the right of that previous number is 43 for the size, and we also have that little fabrication sticker on there in a color that actually really nicely matches that print, if you'll notice. Very nice touch, CELINE. Appreciate it. But now I think we gotta get to our second box. And look, I don't pull any punches. I'm not gonna lie, I don't lie on this channel. I told you this one was my favorite of the two, and I wasn't lying. So this box is the exact same one as that shoe box, except we do not have any stickers on here. There's the back, nothing. So I think all we really can do is open it up. The big reveal, and it's stock paper. It's always stock paper. Okay. Whew, what could that be, my friends? What on earth could that be? You ain't even ready. Whew, it's a heater, you guys. Oh my God. So this is a satin motorcycle varsity jacket with leather trim and strong shoulders. Oh my God. And this is a take on one of the spring 2019 pieces. We looked at that collection. I'll put it on screen here so you can see the piece it was based off of. And there's something that's really, really cool about this piece. So CELINE, they break their kind of brand into two parts. They do ready-to-wear, which is made in factories and sold at a lower price. it's still really, really high, but sold at a lower price. And then they have Runway, which are not made in factories. They are made by the CELINE atelier. So it's almost closer to couture or something, but obviously not like made to measure for each customer or whatever, but even higher quality, like handmade stuff. It's insane. And this is one of those atelier made pieces, Runway CELINE. My God, where do I even begin? So the brand tag is a bit different than a normal CELINE piece. It's a bit bigger. You can see that they're using a different type of tag here. But even the care tags are different on these Runway pieces. And it took me a while to find because, hold on, inside this jacket, you ain't got nothing. It's just lined. There are no care tags or anything at any of those seams. However, finally I looked right inside that sleeve, and you can start to see it there. So you can start to see it. I turned the sleeve inside out, and it's right there. And this is a very different tag than what you'd see in ready-to-wear CELINE pieces. So we've got CELINE, we've got a model number, and then we've got man 1219. So it even says when it was made at the end of 2019. And on the other side of this, we can see the company's Atelier, SPW. We get a little QR code, and even an exact date of manufacture. So that would be, it is Europe, so August 27th, 2018. Crazy stuff. So, okay, that's enough of those parts. Let's take a look at some of these details. As you can see, we've got multiple zippers going on here, and our zippers are branded with that CELINE logo. They're pressed right in there. We've also got various snaps. So this piece goes across the chest and snaps in right there. And then you've got this kind of mandarin collar here, which is something that Hedi Slimane really likes. And this is adjustable, so you can snap it here if you got a larger neck, or here for smaller. We get an elasticated ribbed style hem for the waistline, and even that kind of like T-cut coming in is super bomber style, and I love that type of cut on a jacket. Obviously, the most kind of Hedi Slimane part are these shoulders. I love it. So you've got leather here at the chest, you've got it at the collar, and then you have it coming over the shoulders, almost like armor or something. Like, oh my God, the cut of this, the style of this, you guys. It does not get better. And then you've got this sort of satin sleeve that goes right in underneath it. It is amazing. And then if we look to the back, it's fairly straightforward. It's all in that kind of like glossy black satin fabrication. And then you just get those shoulder details coming around the back of those shoulder blades. I love this cut. It's the only piece I own anything like it, and probably the only one I will ever own that is anything like this. It's just so unique, so CELINE, so Hedi Slimane, and it's like a piece of history. I'm so psyched on this. So now that we have checked all those details out, let's try these on, and I'll give you a little bit of a review of how they fit, how they feel, but I'm also going to put together a fit for you and show you how to style these CELINE pieces. Yes. So first off, of course, we need a shirt to wear under the jacket. And if you've been following my content, you know that I already have this beautiful white CELINE t-shirt. You know, the jacket is black, white t-shirt goes great, black print. Just, this one's a no-brainer. And the jacket, I think, is crazy enough. So on the pants front, I'm just keeping it simple with a pair of All Saints skinny jeans. We can see, obviously, he's been changing it lately, but for much of his career, Hedi Slimane was a big fan of the skinny fit, and I'm going to pay a bit of an homage to it right here with these jeans. And as we saw from his earlier Saint Laurent show, Hedi Slimane is not afraid to mix metals, mix his silvers and his golds. We've already got the gold with the shoes, so for a necklace, I'm going to go with this gold paperclip necklace, and I think that'll work great. But of course, we also have the silver tones of the zippers and hardware on the jacket, so I'm also going to put in some silver gauges here. And listen, we're breaking all the rules. We're mixing our metals just like Daddy Eddie likes. And for a bag, we're going to go with this really cool quilted Raf Simons Eastpak bag, which can be worn kind of crossbody, but I think here we're going to try and pull it off as more of a waist bag, a fanny pack, if you will. And of course, if we go out, we may just end up needing a mask. So this actually is a helmet laying mask. I believe it's called this seamless mask. And listen, I collected a bunch of masks throughout the pandemic, and this is easily my favorite. It fits so well, it's so comfortable, and I think it's going to fit with this look just fine. And as you look at these beautiful, beautiful fit pics, we can talk about the fit and feel of these pieces. Now, if you watched my CELINE t-shirt video, you'll already know that CELINE clothing is very slim fitting. That t-shirt's a large and it fits like a small, okay? And this top is a medium and fits like a smaller than a small. Not quite an extra small, because it still does fit me, and an extra small does not usually fit me. But anyway, if you want a true to size fit, just make sure you size up with CELINE stuff, for sure. However, that is not necessarily the case with these shoes. Shoes are harder to crazy oversize or undersize. People just get real pissed. These are a size 43, which generally translates to a US size 10, and that's really what they fit like. They fit really well. As for the feel of the shoes, yeah, they feel good. The leather, it is kind of stiff, which is to be expected. They're going to take some breaking in. My biggest concern is at the vamps. I can already feel as I step them kind of wanting to crease, so I'll be keeping an eye on how that turns out over time, although perhaps that kind of worn, cracked gold will help kind of cover up some of the natural creasing of the leather. The jacket is super, super comfy. It's actually very warm, considering it's not the thickest jacket or anything. It's got like these ribbed sleeves. They grab you really nice. Of course, that bomber style ribbed waist also grabs you very nice, but it is a bit of a cropped style. It comes up right just above, essentially, the waistband of the jeans. But anyway, I'm super, super psyched on this haul. I am about it. Hedi Slimane, you're the man. You get it. I'm about it. So that is my CELINE haul. Oof, I love these. All right, so if you were into this one, listen, take a look at the other video on screen here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.